Hi, thanks for stopping by Angel Gilding. I'm Alex, and today's quick tip is all about mirror removers. At Angel Gilding, we have a wide variety of different types as well as different sizes of mirror removers. They are very useful to have on hand at your shop. So as you can see, I've put some out here for you to see. We've got gold remover, silver remover, galena, aluminum, copper remover, and a multi-purpose mirror remover. Today, we'll be using removers on a silver mirror that's backed with a copper layer, as well as an aluminum mirror. One thing I wanted to be sure to note is if you're silvering over a base coated piece, such as you would for a spray chrome process, you'll want to be sure to first check with the manufacturer of your base coat to see if it's okay to touch the base coat as well as use silver remover. If that piece is base coated with our clear Unicoat, that's a very hard, durable surface and works very well with silver remover. So let's get into it. As I said, I've got a silver mirror here that's backed with a copper layer as well as an aluminum mirror. Now first off, with my silver mirror, it's pretty common that a commercially made silver mirror would be backed with a layer of copper, and that's going to appear kind of goldish copper once you take that backing paint off. I will mention that to remove backing paint, we recommend that you use our multi-strip. It does a great job at taking that paint off without leaving any kind of waxy residue or film behind. So I have a couple different options here. If I want to just remove the copper layer, then I'll be using my copper remover. Now each one of these removers is working in a chemical way, so it's chemically breaking down the assigned chemicals. So for this, I'm breaking down my copper layer. It's not working by abrasion, and I only need a small amount. So I'll put a small amount there in a clean paper cup. And today I'll be using a Q-tip, but you could also use a cotton swab or any kind of clean, soft cloth that you have. Just dip a small portion in there. And as I said, this is working by abrasion, so I don't need to rub hard, just gently running it over the surface. And it's also working very quickly for me here. Now I know that it's lifting off the copper, not just because of what I see, but my Q-tip is also turning blue. That's a unique aspect for copper mirrors. Now, as I can see here, I've got my silver mirror fully exposed but fully intact, and I've only removed my copper layer. Now, if I also want to remove my silver layer, I can go ahead and use my silver remover. Now, silver remover is a two-part formula, and you don't need to measure these precisely. You'll just want to approximate equal parts of part A and part B. Once again, in a clean paper cup. Take another Q-tip, dab it in. Now, once A and B are mixed together, they have a shelf life of about an hour or so, so you only want to mix what you plan to use for your particular project at that moment. Now I'll take a section here of what I've already removed the copper on and go ahead and remove the silver. Now removers, as I said, always work best when they're direct contact with the chemical that they're supposed to remove. So this wouldn't work as well if I went on top of the copper trying to take the silver off. Now I can see it's working pretty quickly. It's breaking down that silver for me. I'm not having to work too hard here to take that silver layer off. It's coming off real nice for me. And as I can see, I've got some clear glass. Now, if I wanted to, I could take both the silver and the copper off at the same time. For that, I would want to use my mirror remover. As I said, mirror remover is a pretty multi-purpose remover. It works to remove copper, silver, as well as galena. Once again, putting a small portion here in my cup. Taking a Q-tip, and I'll do that right here next to my first part. And once again, working quickly, it's chemically breaking down both of those layers. And what I'm left with here is, once again, a clear piece of glass. Now, as you can see, you have a lot of control over the mirror remover, and you can use it in a lot of different ways. Most often you would see it to clean up perhaps your tools or a mess you might have on your bench. Or you could also use it to clean off the front surface of your mirror after you've already silvered and painted the back. But removers can also be used in more decorative ways. They're a great way to antique your mirror, and depending on how you apply it, you can achieve some pretty interesting decorative finishes, and I'll be sure to cover those in a bit more detail in some future videos. So let's move on now to our aluminum mirror. Now, aluminum mirrors aren't as commonly known in the United States. They're typically imported from Asia, and the process to make an aluminum mirror is quite different than other mirroring processes. It's a bit more dangerous and more harmful for the environment, so they're not as commonly seen. So for an aluminum mirror, the one remover you want is, of course, the aluminum remover. I'll put a small portion here in my cup. And aluminum mirrors don't tarnish as easily or as fast as other types of mirrors. So what we'll see here, I'm going to go ahead and swab a portion of my mirror. What we'll see is it does take a bit more time for that chemical reaction to break down my aluminum layer. But as you can see, I've done it a couple times here, and it cleans off just as nicely as the other removers do. One thing I wanted to show you is, say I didn't know if my mirror was an aluminum mirror or a silver mirror, one of the best ways to check is to try a different remover. So, for example, say I think that this is a silver mirror, I'll go ahead and swab some silver remover on my Q-tip and rub it in. And I can see that although I'm rubbing it the same way I did on my silver mirror here, it's not having any kind of chemical reaction. It's not working in the way that my aluminum mirror was to take that surface off. And what that shows me is it's not a silver mirror, it's an aluminum mirror. So I hope that this information has been helpful to show you the different ways that you can use mirror removers. I'll be sure to cover gold remover in more detail in a future video, especially as that's a great tool to use if you have gold leaf that you need to remove. And if you have any questions or ideas on other quick tip videos you'd like to see, be sure to leave those in the comment box below. Subscribe to our channel to be notified of future videos, and check out our website, angelgilding.com. Thanks.